talk about today is the expectations that are going to be put on local GIS departments as public safety moves into next generation 911. GIS data is going to be critical in the next gen environment. It will be responsible for location validation, the LVF, the routing function, which is the ECRF. But after the ECC, it will also be responsible for call handling, transferring that call to a different PSAP, and also the emergency response. At GEOCOM, one of our priorities is building data to support public safety. But there are a lot of agencies out there that have to depend on their local agencies for their GIS data support. And the local agencies have a lot of other responsibilities. They service the utility departments, the pavement management, the assessor's office. And so they have to look at how are they going to handle this new responsibility for public safety in next generation 911. So what we've done is we've kind of broken the challenges out into three separate areas. The first challenge that local GIS departments will have is relating to GIS data compliance. How are they going to be meeting those accuracy levels that are going to be required for next gen 911? They also have to look at understanding the data structure that it was going to be required. So if their local data model doesn't meet the format that is required for next generation 911, how is that transformation going to occur, and how is it going to be maintained going forward? And you also have to look at those mandatory fields and the mandatory layers that are required for next gen. So they have to look at that GIS data compliance. The other area that is going to be a challenge for local GIS departments is on the operational side of things. There's going to be new maintenance requirements. A perfect example of that is annexations. Annexations can be very complex, not only in the data development side and the data adjustment side, but also in the timing of those annexations. And so it has to be very specific, because typically annexations will affect the PSAP boundary, which is a critical layer within next generation 911, because it affects the routing of those calls into the correct emergency response center. The other thing they have to look at from an operational standpoint is discrepancy reports. The data is going to be QA/QC'd by the next gen network prior to provisioning in. If there are any issues with that data and it doesn't meet the accuracy requirements, discrepancy reports are going to be created and delivered back to the local GIS agency. They are going to have a turnaround time for correction of those discrepancies for 3 business days. But you also have to look at the support of public safety. So local GIS departments could be looking at a 24/7 support system, which they haven't had in the past, as they're supporting these other departments within the local agency. The third challenge that local GIS departments are going to have is on the personnel side of things. In the next gen cost estimate report to the Congress, they talked about personnel and the fact that specialized expertise is going to be needed in understanding those requirements, and also dedicated may be the effect that you're going to have dedicated resources in order to support these new next gen functions. What we want to finalize is just to stress the importance of understanding the requirements that are going to be placed on these local agencies and how are they going to handle these new challenges. It's important to have a plan. Thank you for listening, and we will talk to you on our next video blog.